Hey fairies, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I do hope y'all keep it cool, kind, and classy today. And we are going to be talking about the energy. We're going to be talking about what we're feeling, where we have been, and where we're going. So because of this, there's going to be a lot of conflicting energies. Resistance while I say that. There's going to be many energies at play here. And I'm doing my best to keep the environment cleansed of said energies. So, this is all about what is going to come next. This is all about what is coming next in your life. And this is all about accepting and understanding the way that you have been treated was not only maltreatment, but mistreatment and, of course, abuse. This is for my collective that has experienced very intense, condescending, and negative and narcissistic energies within their life. So, I'm laughing because they have no chance. I'm laughing because they have no chance. And this is going to be a very heavy, energetic reading. So I am going to do my best at kind of taking that into consideration and move with however is fit to encapsulate and sort of clear. I guess like clear. I'm just getting a clear. I'm getting a really cleared energy. So this is something that people are going to try to continuously come into your life with. That's all I'm getting here. And like, basically, I think that people are going to convince you that you didn't deserve what is for you in the first place. This is like this energy of, this is the time. This is going to be a phase of people specifically coming into your life to try to convince you of everything you are working for. Trying to convince you that everything you are working for is all for naught. Everything that you are working for is better off if you just put it down now. It's better off if you just put your guard down now, if you just put everything down now that you've been working for, if you just allow people to come back in and treat you the way that they have in the past. But see, the thing about this treatment is that you've already allowed it to die. You've already allowed death to it. And you've grieved this process. You've already grieved this process because in the past, you were trying to figure out why this cycle is continuously repeating of you not seeing yourself. So now that you have sat with and grieved this process of the heartbreak that has prompted and contributed to this consistent and tedious and tiring and painful cycle of just feeling like you're not enough. You've moved away from it. You've moved on. You have officially moved on. So this is the time that people are going to come in and try to convince you that everything you are is because of them. Is because of them. Which is funny because they never moved. They never moved. They never got up. And this whole time, as a matter of fact, you were the one putting in the work to understand and receive everything that you are, and within that, understand and receive everything that everybody else has been around you. Because at the end of the day, you're starting to really sit with the fact that nobody reciprocated you properly. Nobody came to you and treated you as the human being that you are. Nobody came to you and reciprocated the cup that you have been holding out. So, see, this truly convinced you to duck into an isolating period, to duck into a hermit mode. to duck into a hermit perspective, if not a hermit lifestyle. Because this is something that has genuinely affected you. This is something that has truly gotten in the way of your dreams, gotten in the way of your truth, gotten in the way of your love life. Your love life. More than anything, I feel like everything that is for you was not able to come in because you were perceiving your life as a punishment. And the reason that you were perceiving your life this way is because the view that you had on the people around you was from a place of imbalance. This was from a place of imbalance because the people around you treated you like the pain and the infertility and the unabundance and the lack and the untruths and the disguises and the shadows and the this and the that was all part of what was for you. So this is like a whole new era. This is a whole new era of you finally coming into your truth and moving with it. Moving with it. Because you're finally starting to see, like, I really held myself back. Like, I really allowed myself a certain amount of gifts. I allowed myself a certain amount of receiving from the world as to not get above others, as to not be above others. And see, this is for my collective that knows nobody is better than the other, but you can be higher. You can be higher. You're allowed to do that. So, as I was saying, now that you're finally coming into the realization that, you stayed at a certain point, you literally held yourself back. And I don't mean in the sense that, like, you necessarily, like, self-sabotage and you hated on yourself and you did this and you did that. You literally held yourself back for others out of love. And that is the most wholesome place that you can come from in regards to holding yourself back. Because some people just truly hold themselves back because they're benefiting off of, this demonic energy. They're benefiting off of repeating the same cycle. But you truly knew you were not getting anything from this energy. You truly knew there was nothing here for you. But you stayed here and you continuously repeated this cycle because, first and foremost, you were taught that this is the only thing for you. And second of all, you wanted to be here for the people that were here as well. And even though you were taught that you have to live in this lack, you knew that the people who are imbalanced, that the people who are living in this demonic energy, that the people who are choosing to be reciprocative are just that. They are choosing this. So there was a part of you that really felt within yourself like they just didn't know what they're doing, and they're naive, and they're this and they're that, and they're mentally immature, and like if somebody isn't here for them, they're going to hurt themselves. So you really got to allow that to happen. See, this is the era of allowing that to happen, because the more that you allow that, the more that you are, and it's like this trade-off. It's truly a trade-off era. So the more that you come into synchronization with everything that you are, the more you come into synchronization with everything that is for you, you are going to therefore fall into everything that is the universe. You're naturally going to receive your blessings. You're naturally going to receive what is for you. You're naturally going to come out of this phase of darkness, this time of pain and hermit mode, because within that, you're going to slowly start to understand that everything that you've been living was that trade-off in order to compensate for the people that you love. See, this is truly a place of a golden heart. And many people do not come from this place. Many people do things for others out of receiving. Many people do things for others out of getting. But this is genuinely collective that, like, just didn't want anything. All you wanted was the safety and the love for other people in your life. And this has held you back within itself. this has held you back within itself. The idea that you have to stay here for people that are not serving you. The people that you are continuously watching siphon off of you and then do with your energy what they would do with theirs had they had any left to begin with. So this is like really coming from a place of disappointment. And you're looking at this Wheel of Fortune and you're saying like, you know, I just feel like I deserve way more than what I'm getting. And I just feel like if I truly receive what is mine through this Wheel of Fortune, then I'm here and change the world. I'm going to be able to change the world. And because you're going to be able to change the world, you're going to face people with exactly who they are. Because you are becoming this golden reflection of others. So it's like people come into contact with you and they see who you are, and they try to take away from that first and foremost. They try to confuse you because of that, but the reason that they can't confuse you is because you already know who you are. And since you know who you are just the standpoint of everything, not everything, but like the human experience. You are truly a standpoint of the human experience, and people hate that. People hate that because you have something that they don't. And the thing that you have is the discernment. The thing that you have is the ability to say whether or not you need to stay somewhere for somebody else. To say whether or not it is your time to leave. To say whether or not it is your time to really come into face with yourself, come into understanding with yourself that you are not receiving your abundance. And to receive this abundance is legitimately, as I was saying, to face people and say, this is me, so you're going to take it or you're going to leave it. And when you say this, people truly understand that they have a choice to make, and they can either continue to project their negativities outward, or they can use the magic and the abundance you display in order to show this outward, in order to truly take this energy that you perceive with the world and take that into another realm, take that into another life, take that into another area of the world, take it into another premise, take it into another dimension, and to light that, to light that up with everything that you portray the world as. So it's like, you're giving people this ultimatum at this time. And they can either come with you or they can fall off of their high horse. You're saying, like, I really care about you. Like, even though you hate me, like, even though you hate on me, and even though you talk down to me and try to make me feel bad about myself and try to judge me and try to make me feel less than myself and try to throw me out of balance, you know, I know who I am. And it's like, deep down, I know that you're this person too. Deep down, I know somewhere you have this power, the same power. You have that same power to embody this intuition that you are capable of withholding in order to take this to other parts of the world, in order to really take this to other parts of the world and show other people what they're missing out on. So this is truly a time of enlightenment. This is truly a time of receiving all that is for you. And that's the thing. Because out of all of the choices that you made, right? You decided to stay exactly within yourself. You decided to stay within yourself regardless of all of the choices that you had in order to, you know, pursue riches, in order to pursue fame, in order to pursue this fake identity. And because you did not choose this, you truly have stayed within yourself and said, I'm going to stay here until my blessings come to me. And because you did this, you're really showing people like this courage first and foremost, but you're showing people that they have the space to choose. They just have to accept it. They just have to sit within it. They just have to really truly accept themselves. So this, I'm hearing avoidant again. I've been hearing avoidant quite a bit lately, but this is really coming from an alternative external energy of an avoidant. So you're dealing with avoidance in your life. And because you're doing this, you're truly sitting with yourself and saying, you know, I see directly what you put me through, and that's fine. And I've moved on. But this is about you moving on now. This is about you moving on because I have done the work that I've had to do within myself, you know, and I didn't look to somebody else to complete that cycle of what is me. I didn't look to somebody else to complete that cycle of what is me. And because of this, I did not lack. You know, maybe you didn't have anything. Maybe you weren't receiving your blessings. Maybe you just didn't feel in synchronization with the universe, but you still knew deep down that you were working hard for everything that you needed to achieve. And through that perspective, you are slowly going to see everything that is for you come to light. Come to light and think, you did all of this with nothing. You did all of this without your tools. You did all of this without your magical abilities. So, your future is going to be something of magic and realism. It's not going to be just one or the other. It's going to be something of both. It's going to be something of genuine balance. And this is what is correlating to showing people directly that there is another way. There is another way than the greed. There is another way than holding on to your money. There is another way than holding on to yourself and never sharing with others out of fear that it's going to display vulnerability. And see, you're basically stepping up and saying like, I had nothing. I had nothing for so long. I had nothing for so long. Yeah, that's what I'm getting here. I had nothing for so long, but I had to carry everybody else's burden. And within this, you are directly showing people, you know, I don't care what you think. I'm going to continuously do myself. And regardless of how you see me. And that's what this is really, that's why this is such a strong energy. Because this is regardless of how others are going to portray you. So because of this, you're finally falling out with everything that made you feel like you have to work so hard to achieve love. And that in itself is your justice. I mean, at the end of the day, all that you wanted was love. All that you wanted was to step away from everything that made you feel less than yourself. So, okay, so I'm going to split the deck one more time. I'm going to take this last card. And this last card is telling me that you're truly viewing life, right? And I feel like this is once again something that is coming from both sides because you are viewing life with the logic that you essentially have kind of needed. You have needed to get to the next step. And I feel like this is definitely a collective that has viewed their life with quite a bit of logic throughout it in order to pursue the wit of survival. But you're finally viewing the world with a logic that is coming from a standpoint that is not desperation, that is not having to survive, that is not having to live in pain. And you're saying, if I want to move on with who I am, if I want to do something different, if I want to step away from these people, then I need to just do it. Then I need to just pursue that. Then I need to just act on that instead of finding all of these cut-arounds and finding all of this beating around the bushes and establishing all of this fake energy. Like you're not lying to yourself anymore is what I'm getting. Like, you know, life is not about survival. You know, life is not about pain. You know, life is not designed to hurt. So you're finally acting on that. And you're not asking anybody for confirmation. That's what I'm really getting. You're not asking anybody for authorization anymore. And that's the most beautiful part about this energy, is that you're finally stepping up and you're saying, this is me. This is me. And if I don't be this, then I am not going to be okay. See, that is your survival. That is where your survival stemmed from, is because you spent so long trying to be the person that everybody else needed, because you knew they were immature. You knew they had nothing inside. You knew that they did not have what you have. Love. They did not have the love that you have. So you really wanted to be there for them, but you're finally saying, this doesn't serve me, I need to leave. And that is the logical standpoint that you have needed this whole time. That is the logical standpoint that is truly going to get you to this next era. Of just everything. Just everything. Everything that you've been looking for. The authenticity, the genuinity, the love, the truth, the beauty, the color, the taste, the sound, the feeling. It's everything that you have been looking for. And to simply say, I'm not getting what I need here, and mean it, was what this chapter was for. Y'all keep it cool, kind of classy out here.